against Paladin, 3-2. So we're going to do a Druid run here. And start things off with a Bite. Followed by Defender of Argus. And Swipe. So these are all been pretty easy picks, I think, so far. Here, I guess, you know, because I have these 4 drops already, I could consider taking Dark Iron Dwarf. Or, you know, Mark of Nature to smooth out my curve a little bit. I'll take the Dark Iron Dwarf. The Mark of Nature is alright. I will take another swipe. We're just going to take 4 mana cards the whole way through here. Well, I need creatures, so we'll take a Murloc Tidehunter. No, I'm not that happy about it. Do I take a Spellbreaker? No. Well, what am I taking instead? Savage Roar is not that great. We'll take a Silence. And over a 1-drop, I'll take a 3-drop. Healing Touch could actually be helpful if I'm really slow, but we'll take the 5-drop here. I'll take another Defender of Argus. This is really starting to be too many 4-drops. I mean, it's 4 4-mana creatures. I think I'll take a Questing Adventurer instead. Okay, I could do some early game, and the Power of the Wild functions late game as well, so that's nice. Wow, I feel like I haven't played with this wolf in forever. Bad buffs are better than no buffs. I do have 1 Defender of Argus here. Do I take that or the Silverhand Knight? Well, Druids do have plenty of endgame, so I'll take the wolf for the buff. Okay, I don't want to take the Inventor and clog up my 4-mana spot even more, but with 2 swipes, I will totally take a Geomancer, because Swipe is the boss hoss with Geomancer. Oh, this is just terrible. Well, I have to take a 4-drop. I guess we'll take the one that draws me a card. Ironbark Protector, definitely not going to pass a chance to take that. And Ancient of War, oh, I've really wanted to play with this card for a long time. This is really, really good. Faceless Manipulator, definitely solid, but a 5/10 with Taunt is just stupid ridiculous. In that vein, let's go ahead and also grab an... Well, is this too much? No. With 2 swipes and a Bite, I feel pretty good about my chances to slow things up until the end game. We'll just do that. Do I take Starfire? Sure. This is getting a little bit top-heavy, but I think we're okay. So I'm not going to take this terrible Taunter. We'll take a Bloodfen Raptor for some more early game. And I'll take a Nourish for some card draw. I mean, all those were expensive. I'm taking something expensive anyway. Might as well do that. Innervate is good. That could actually help me with my curve issues. And although I have lots of 4-drops, I'm going to take Keeper of the Grove. Well, actually, wait a minute. I already have a Spellbreaker. I don't want a second Adventure. That's pretty bad. We'll take a Keeper for some removal. Druid of the Claw is great. This is a lot of really, really expensive stuff. And I don't think I can actually take this Ogre anymore. Yeah, it's just too much. I'm going to take Mark of Nature and hopefully buff some of my cheaper creatures. Do I take a second Ironbark Protector? That is a really tricky question. I don't think so. I think I'm going to take the Abusive Sergeant. I need to have some kind of early game. Naturalize is something I could consider, but I'd rather just take a 3-drop because I do need those. Have another chance. Well, here I will take an Ironbark Protector. Since I passed on the other one, I don't want another 4-drop. This is just awful. So, Ironbark it is. And I just don't want more expensive stuff. This is like the draft that threw me everything expensive in the universe. Over this stupid card cycler, we'll take a Healer. And, well, the only playable card here is the Manipulator, so we'll take that. Okay, that draft I think went alright. I think it was fine. I mean, it's a bit top-heavy, but I do have 2 swipes. I wouldn't have minded a Starfall, or I never saw any Claws or Wraths, but, you know, having the Bite helps out somewhat, because that is removal and a little bit of life gain, depending on the power of the creature that you're killing. Plus, the swipes should help out a lot, and I do have enough early creatures that this should be alright. And then I'll just dominate the end game. So we'll see. Unless I get off to like really slow starts, I'm the favorite in any matchup if things are still equal or close to it, at least, in the end game. Okay, we'll keep the swipe. We'll keep a 3-drop because I just might not get another one in this deck. Innervate, well, I have nothing to innervate at the moment, but I do have lots of 4-drops and some 5-drops that would be good targets for innervate. So they could happen on turn 3. We'll see. Like that, I would probably innervate on turn 3 rather than playing the Raid Leader. X6 Nat says deck looks good. I agree. I think this is not like the perfect Druid deck, but I think it's a totally fine deck. I could innervate a Worgen. That's not really right, though. We'll just shapeshift and hit him in the face. I might not innervate the Tiger. It really depends on what he does. I mean, if he just steady shots me, I don't think it's worth it to go down 2 cards to play this Tiger. Because then even if this Tiger kills 2 of his minions, it's still breaking even. Yeah, let's just save the innervate. Like, I'd much rather do it like on turn 6. You know, and like get an Ironbark out or something earlier. Stone Tusk Boar. Wow. Well, let's think. I think I want to play this for sure. The question is, do I innervate to shapeshift and kill the piglet? I don't think so. I think I'd rather just take the chance that he has whatever, a dark iron. No, he's already used the coin. He coined this out. That was mind-boggling. He should have just played the Stone Tusk Boar and left it alone. Well, the bear is good. And it actually doesn't matter because he's going to use the piglet, it seems, to kill my Worgen. Okay, fine. Well, my opponent's not putting up any kind of a pressure, so yeah, we'll just play the No Motion Enter and draw a card. So the more cards I draw, the more likely it is I get an Iron Bark. I got 2 of them in here. And an Ancient of War, I would totally innervate that out next turn. It's a bit vulnerable to Deadly Shot, but as long as the No Motion Mentor survives, I should be fine. Nope, he's going to kill it with a kill command. This guy is very aggressive, but he's not really got much to show for it. He's only dealt 5 damage to me. Okay, let's do the Tiger. So next turn I'm flexible. I can either just use the Tiger to kill this bear, or I can swipe the bear and kill other stuff. It just depends on what's better for me at the moment. Or at that moment. I have a lot of my early game stuff here, which suggests that I should get a good flood of endgame beef at some point soon. Well, he's got me down to 20 health. Boulder Fist Ogre. Can I afford to do that? I think I can. So we're going to do this. The idea here is that if he uses the Scarlet Crusader to kill my Tiger, then anything else I swipe will kill the Scarlet Crusader as a stray. The risk of my move is that if he has Deadly Shot, he can kill this and then Deadly Shot and kill my Ogre. Looks like he doesn't have that, though. So that's fine. And he's going to do that, so he does not feel confident about his chances of burning me out. Remember, I am a Druid, which is nice against Hunters, because that drastically reduces the effectiveness of his ability to burn me out. Okay, so what I think I want to do here is take as little damage as possible on my Ogre. That means I actually kill this thing. Swipe this thing. Now, I'll just play Raid Leader, I guess. I don't want to go too crazy playing stuff because I want to be a little bit cautious with Unleash the Hounds when I don't have any swipes. But I'm way ahead on cards and I have a 7-5, so it's looking pretty good. I mean, I could have played more creatures to play around Deadly Shot, but I think I made a reasonable choice nonetheless. Timberwolf, okay. And Steady Shot. Well, this is fine. Can I get an Iron Bark? No. I don't exactly want to hit this because then it'll go down to 2 health, dying to Explosive Shot and Multi-Shot. If I play Power of the Wild, I mean, Explosive Trap, excuse me, they'll go up to 3 health, but then they'll still die to Multi-Shot. I think I'll just use a swipe here. And Shapeshift to kill that thing. Play the Wolf. And, you know, swing for 11 damage. So I have as many creatures on the board as he has in his hand, plus an extra 4 cards. I mean, it's almost impossible for him to win right now. He could play an Explosive Trap that would kill these 2. Explosive Shot would kill these 2. I mean, there are removal cards you could have that would clear my board, but then I'd still have a lot of cards left over. Charging Rhino will let him kill my... Well, probably the Raid Leader was the better card to kill, because the Raid Leader and the Wolf are the same, just the Raid Leader affects everything. Can I win? This is actually worth checking. So I have, with Innervate, I can actually play this. Well, let's see, I have 10 plus 3 is 13. I can get up to 11 mana. So, okay, I can, like, play this, this, and this. So that's, 9, 11. I do actually win. So, yeah, we'll just Starfire. Oh, Iron Bark. Nice booter. Come on by.
Hit it very hard.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the bites. That was actually kind of important, because bite was the only thing I had that actually killed him right then. As we learned a little while ago, you can never actually have more than 10 mana crystals, even temporary ones. I did not know that. So if you ever do have like a 9 mana turn where you're using Innervate for extra mana, make sure that you use the Innervate after you've spent some of your other mana, otherwise you will be cheated out of a crystal. Had that happened that time, I actually wouldn't have been able to play the bite, and things would have gone an extra turn. Because the most I could have done then is play Power of the Wild. And that would have just dealt 2 damage, not 3. Well, unlike the first game that I won in my Warlock arena, which was really, really close and didn't instill too much confidence, that was a pretty good confidence booster. We pretty much smashed up that Hunter. Rogue! Alright, Rogue could be a fast deck. I got a 3-drop, and I'm second, which is always nice against the Rogue. But I will mulligan everything besides the 3-drop, just to maximize my odds of getting swipes or some of my early creatures. Well, I didn't quite get what I wanted. I got the Panther for turn 2, or possibly turn 1 if I get another 2-drop. But that's very, very, very unlikely. Most likely I'll be playing this on turn 2, this on turn 3, and then I'm kind of at the mercy of her removal, because if she has Backstab or a really fast start and stuff, I could be in trouble. Please pass the turn, and thank you. Nourish, oh, that's not very good. That is not very good at all. This is a painfully slow hand. I really have to get a swipe soon, or I'm just in a lot of trouble. Or if she just like daggers up and doesn't do anything, I guess I'm okay as well. But it could be. I coined out this Panther. Why did I coin out this Panther? I did not want to coin that Panther out. I'm sorry, folks. That was. I was like, well, I'm like farther ahead than I thought I'd be. That really should not have happened. Oops. Well, okay. That was definitely still a mistake, but at least the silver lining is that I killed her 2-drop. So had I waited to play my Panther until turn 2, she could have backstabbed the Panther, and then the Wild Pyromancer would have survived. She's going to shiv my face, which I don't mind. So she has a slow start too, which is fine. Usually when you and your opponent both have a slow start, it's like, well, whose slow start is going to be better? But like here, I'm really confident that it's only a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of decks whose slow starts would be better than my slow starts. Like, I mean, really, there's just not that much that beats this. Sure, these can get sapped and assassinated and whatever, but really, like, if I actually get to play these when, like, the board is even, then I'm just winning the game, I think. She's going to sap my Worgen, which I guess is fine. It just really depends on if she has anything to do with the 2 mana. Play a Ringleader. That's actually really good. However, this will be a good time to use Keeper of the Grove, so that's fine. To Keeper of the Grove, 2 damage, kill that thing. Shapeshift will kill this thing, but I'm actually hoping Swipe will kill this thing. That's what I'm really hoping for. Spiteful Smith is a pretty good card, and it will kill this and get enraged. All these things are bad. Ah, that's actually a really good top deck. Okay, so I was thinking of Mark of Nature on this, but I think this is even better. Let's just get 4/6 of my own. Now, she could run in and get enraged. This will be down at 2 health, and then she can make a dagger and then finish it off. But that's fine if she wants to do that. I'll happily trade off my Keeper of the Grove and for the rest of the Spiteful Smith. And again, as long as I'm equal, even equal, I should win the game with these big drops. Like, if turn 7 hits, and I can just play this on a board like this, I'm totally fine.
So many options.
She's going to use Betrayal as a 2 mana, 2 damage, and allow the Spiteful Smith to kill off the Druid. What that allows her to do is make a dagger then and kill off my Keeper of the Grove. No, she's going to play an Ogre Magi, letting the Keeper kill the Spiteful Smith. I don't know about that play, to be totally honest. She also does not like that play very much. So really, we're just waiting to see if she has a Sap or an Assassinate. I'm hoping for Assassinate, because that would be her entire turn. I would love for this to get assassinated. If it gets assassinated and then she just makes a dagger, then whatever. I'll just play Ancient of War and then it's over. She's going all for the face, which is interesting. I don't know that I agree with that necessarily. Well, I'm happy to play Ancient of War. I don't know. I think that card... Well, okay. There was an interview recently with the lead designer for Hearthstone, and he said they're not looking to change many cards now. Like, they're not even looking to change Unleash the Hounds, which is kind of mind-boggling to me. But this just does seem a little bit like like a 5/10 with taunt for 7 mana. I don't know. I really need Swipe really, really, really badly, because that will kill the Patient Assassin. I really need Swipe right now, and I didn't get it. I could Nourish to draw 3 cards, and I'm a mana short of playing Swipe. Motherfucker. Can I kill him? Nope. I could play the Ironbark Protector, I guess. Or I could just play a bunch of Dinkosaurus Rexes. God, so it would have been great. I could have killed the Golem and the Patient Assassin and this thing. It would have been pretty great. Well, I should should probably think carefully about this turn. Rogues don't do that very well with mass removal unless they have Blade Flurry. The risk is that if she does have Blade Flurry and I play out all this stuff, all my stuff will just die. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Kill that with Shapeshift. A bit risky taking damage at this point, but I think it's worth it. We're gonna play this. Use that final moments to pop the Divine Shield. We're gonna play this. So the idea is that I leave the Mark of Nature for the Raging Organ, making it a 3/6. I can kill off the thing, live to tell about it, and turn on Wind Fury. Sea Giant is a problem. Cult Master also a problem. Sea Giant. Ah, damn. So you can use the Argent Commander to kill my Boulder Fist Ogre, and that leaves me with a few options for killing Sea Giants. Luckily, Ironbark Protector trades with it, at least. Backstab for good measure on my 2/1, stopping it from killing the... Oh my god, am I really going to lose this game? Am I actually going to lose this game? I think I'm actually going to lose this game because of all... Oh my... Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, I need swipe right now. Right now, that's not swipe. Well, Nourish, I have enough mana now to play swipe. I have to do it. I'm so desperate to get swipe that it just has to happen. Seriously? Oh my god. That was ridiculous. So these Patient Assassins, which should have trivially died to one of the 2 swipes that I have, and there was a 75% chance of them being in the top half of the deck, get to just sit there and kill my giant trees. So after all that talk about how I'm really certain that, you know, any late game deck, blah, 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 I'll beat with my late game, blah, 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 I'm actually going to lose because I just didn't draw my swipes. Fuck everything. So yeah, her whole hand is played out. This 8/8's no good. The Patient Assassin kills it, and then she just kills me with her stuff. I think it's actually too late for swipe to save me at this point. I would need, like, both of them. And I didn't get one anyway. Well, we're still going to keep trying to get a swipe, because it improves my odds. No! Just not a chance at all of swipe ever. Ironbark is just terrible. The Patient Assassin kills it. There's really no point. Does she kill me? 8, 12, 15. Technically, she doesn't kill me. What we're going to do here is play this to heal up. And I guess try to bait out the Patient Assassin with that? Or just make her waste a turn with Sea Giant? I don't even know. So this Patient Assassin is an epic card. She had 2 of them. I have 2 swipes, which would have taken care of them easily, and I didn't get a swipe either time. We're actually almost down to the last third of the deck, and still no swipes to be seen anywhere. It's probably too late at this point, though. Because if I'm swiping, I'm not playing Ironbarks, and then I'm just in trouble. She's playing very conservatively. But she's still getting a lot of damage through. Looks like this is some kind of a dead card. I still don't get a swipe. This is unbelievable. Well, Ironbark it is, I guess. And... do I Innervate to put the Spellbreaker in play, or do I just play this in the Abusive Sergeant? I think I'll just, well, I think I'll just do the Innervate, I guess. Silence that up. Doesn't really make a difference. But, because she was kind of conservative, not hitting me when she had the chance, I might be able to sneak it out with this other Ironbark. Or if I would fucking get a swipe, and the fact that she passed the turn last turn, rather than putting another minion on the board, really, really, really helped. But if the reason she passed was that I had no minions and, like, this is an Assassinate, then I'm in trouble. Okay, she's going to Betrayal. That sucks. At least the silence was relevant. She's actually hitting herself in the face to kill off that Ironbark. And Cold Blood actually wins her the game, because that is enough damage for the kill. That game... I apologize, folks, if this offends anyone, but that game was fucking retarded. It should have been a win, really easily. I just needed either my opponent not to have two of the same particular epic that really own my deck, except for the swipes, or I needed to actually get the swipes. And neither of those things happened, so that's a loss. That doesn't really shake any of my confidence in the deck. When you play Hearthstone, sometimes you're just going to lose fucking retarded games, and that was one of them. So that's that. Let's go ahead and go on to game 3 of this run. Hopefully now that we're in the loser's bracket, we'll get a few easy wins before getting the hard opponents. Because this deck was very, very strong, I think. And I mean, watch me get it like a third 3-win run in a row. Not in a row, but in the same block. As my ability to guess the quality of my decks continues to suck. Well, here, this is unfortunate that I have the Tidehunter, because this is just awesomely bad against hunters who play Unleash the Hounds. But, at the very least, if I play it early in the game, it's possible that it'll happen before my opponent wants to play Unleash the Hounds. And in that case, it could actually, get some use. Trading into a minion or something like that. Technically, this is like 3 power and 2 toughness for 2 mana, just like a 3/2. It's just the way that it's spread out happens to be pretty bad in the context of the other abilities and powers in the game. Okay, so I could play this as a buff. That would allow the 1/1 to kill the 3/2, but that seems kind of silly. I'd much rather just play it as a panther. Trade the creature away. So I have 1 fewer, 1 toughness creatures here. Actually, it was the same either way, wasn't it? I end up with, no. It was not the same at all. I either end up with 1 creature or with 2 creatures, so that's a pretty big difference. Okay, so here, fuck you. Here, I could play the Spellbreaker, but it doesn't matter because I want to trade anyway. So I'm either wasting the silence or I'm wasting the healing. It's hard to tell what is... I mean, I could swipe this bear, but that seems bad. It's hard to tell what's, less valuable. I guess I'll do this. If you're not sure what to do the thing that, costs more mana. And he's not really done anything this game, so I might actually be able to nourish for 2 crystals next turn, and then play the Ironbark on turn 6. I could also just get 3 cards and play normally. We'll sort of see what happens. So he's got 7 cards to my 6, soon to be 7. Yeah, no card exchanges have taken place yet. So this will trade with my 4/3. That's fine. Could play these guys and shapeshift. I'm not going to pass on an opportunity to nourish, though. The question is, do I want the crystals or do I want the cards? I think the cards should be fine. My opponent's just not put up any kind of pressure at all. If I'd been holding 2 Ironbarks in my hand so that I knew that I'd be getting back-to-back Ironbarks, that would have been fine, if I'd have already been holding this. But since I wasn't, and I had other things to be doing, it seemed reasonable to just leave it be. Stampeding Kodo. Actually really good in this situation for my opponent. I will just take the time then to Starfire it, get some card advantage. That is my whole turn, but I don't really care about it being my whole turn because he's not doing anything, so I might as well just get the cards. And then when he puts me in a more favorable position, I will then play the Hunter and the Farseer. Timberwolf and Buzzard. Interesting choice. Oh, he's going to get a card out of it. Right. So how many things can I kill with Swipe? I'm not necessarily coming out ahead on cards because each of these beasts is drawing him a card. But I am
My shield for Argus.
I'm not letting him catch up, and I'm getting rid of my board very efficiently. Or catching up on the board very efficiently. Alright, this is the time for Kobold Geomancer and Swipe. I wish I could swipe his face, but I can't. The Defender of Argus will live. I see no reason to allow it to live. We'll just do that. Don't see much reason to play the Abusive Sergeant. Actually, I do. I think this makes a lot of sense. So, having an extra 2 power on the board is really important, because if you're planning to spend your entire next turn playing an 8/8 for 8, you want to have as much power on the board as possible. Okay, turns out not to matter. He's just going to play the high main. But here we go. Ironbark number 1 drops down. Note that I'm putting the Abusive Sergeant in the middle so that the effectiveness of Explosive Shot is minimized. He can still kill everything with Explosive Shot and then have 2 Hyenas left over, but then I'm going to play another Ironbark, which is fine. I still would rather not see Explosive Shot from my opponent here, however. Okay, well, I'm glad I ended up with 2 Ironbark Protectors and a Faceless. With the faceless, I'd be tempted to copy the high main, but I think copying an 8/8 with taunt is just better than this like special wacky ability here that we've got going on. Longbow. Well, that allows them to take out one Ironbark in style. But not the other. I could also swipe his face to kill off these hyenas. Leaving me with 5 mana. 5 is an awkward amount of mana, unfortunately. I could if I had 6 left over, I could play a couple of 3-drops. As it is, I can't. Although I could top deck a 2-drop. If I do this, you know what the problem is? If I do this, his hyenas and the bow will kill it. And if I kill off the hyenas, a deadly shot will kill it. So that's actually, yeah, let's just go ahead and swipe his face. And we'll play this. Shapeshift. So he doesn't have any good targets for the bow, and he's getting pretty low on health here. I might not actually need this Ironbark, because if he doesn't clear me out with an Unleash the Hounds, the raid leader does a lot of damage. He's afraid of that spell damage. Little does he know that I've used both of my swipes already, so none of my swipes showed up last game. Both of them chose to show up this game. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the help. He plays a Frostwolf Warlord. Oh, that's not good. And then he buffs it with Defender of Argus. Fair enough. Well, unluckily for my opponent, I have Ironbark number 2. I'll Shapeshift. Do I actually attack in to get more damage through? Yes, actually. I will do this. Because first of all, it deals more damage to my opponent. He's really low. Every point of damage might matter. And second of all, I don't want to leave him with a 5/5. That makes it much easier for him to get rid of my 8/8. Deadly Shot would be a really hilarious coin flip right now, but I have more juice with this Ogre coming up. So I should be fine still. Hunter's Mark. Okay, that's fine. So he's going to 2-for-1 with the Defender and the Ironbark. Man, my opponents are doing a good job killing off my big trees. Frost Elemental to freeze that. I would have actually frozen my character, personally. But I guess since the Boris frozen, the raid leader doesn't work, so little does my opponent know that was actually really good for him. Okay, let's go ahead here and do this. Draw a card. Questing Adventurer. Later. We'll do this. And pass the turn. So he's got 2 cards. My board's actually better than his, even with the help of the Wolf's buff. Plenty of good cards to play. This game should be over. Kill command doesn't quite do it. He has to throw the wolf away as well. Houndmaster, alright. Well, the wolf still dies. Although he can use the wolf to kill my Inventor. That would probably be the better play. I think he messed up a little bit. I would have killed the Inventor with the wolf. I guess he gets to kill the Inventor with the thing. Alright, that's fine. Whatever. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Let's do a Questing Adventure. This Ancient of War is pretty good. And we'll swing. So he's got absolutely nothing here. Again, keeping the weak creature in the middle against explosive shots. This must be very frustrating for my opponent. He went up against 2 Ironbarks and an Ancient of War. Hounds is just awful here. This is 10 health. That'll eat through all the Hounds. Now, had the Hounds happened a couple turns earlier, when he, like, used the Gladiator's Longbow on my Kobold Geomancer, if he had the Hounds then, he could have actually maybe stayed in the game. As it is, he's actually just throwing everything away into that. I don't know how he expects to win at this point, but that is totally fine by me. Can I win? Maybe. Let's do this. What I got? Bite and that. So that's 7 damage. Plus, yeah, actually I do win. In case I did my arithmetic wrong. I actually did not need the Worgams, that's fine, whatever. Yay, good game! Okay, so after a really dumb, stupid game against a Rogue, we get a pretty solid game against a Hunter. So the wins that we've had were absolutely smashing. The opponents seemed to play well and have decent decks. I don't think it was like, you know, that bad. I don't think they were newbies or anything. So yeah, I think it's just a good deck. As long as we can stay even or slightly ahead through most of the game up until turn 6, 7, 8. I should be able to beat most decks. Paladin. Well, one use of his hero ability cancels out one use of mine, but Swipe will kill all of his recruits residually, which is nice to know going in. We'll keep the Wolf, and I'm actually going to just keep this hand because I'm second. If I were first, I wouldn't keep that, but as a second player, I can play this on turn 2, and then coin one of these out on turn 3, and then play the other on turn 4. This is likely to have a target. Not guaranteed, but likely. Oh, this is even better, so definitely going to do this. I mean, if I happen to get 2 drops with this deck, I'm totally going to just coin them out and play them both, because I don't even care about coming out ahead in the opening. Like, if I do because my opponent is super slow, sure, but I don't even care about that. I just want to trade 1 for 1 until I can play my big stuff. So here, we'll just trade, kill off his Geomancer. That's totally fine. Don't care in the slightest. I'm not going to, like, you know, deal 4 damage or anything like that. I'm just keeping the Wolf out here, hoping he makes a recruit so that I can shapeshift and kill it. That would be ideal. Nope, he's got a real card. Scarlet Crusader. That's actually totally fine. I don't mind that at all. So what we're going to do here is just... I'd love to play the Questing Adventure, but it would just die. So no, we're just going to shapeshift and use that plus the Wolf to kill the Scarlet Crusader. Again, I don't care about coming out ahead. I just want to stay equal and not let my opponent overrun things, and then I'm totally content. Crockle is not the most impressive play, although given that I have these, like, this thing that deals 2 damage, it's kind of annoying that he has a 2-3 rather than a 3-2. Spellbreaker doesn't do anything, we'll just draw a card, I guess. I can't kill off both of his creatures, so there's not much good in killing off just one of them with Shapeshift at the expense of playing anything else. Now, had I had this at the start of my turn, I would have Shapeshifted to kill that and played this, which would have been much better. Raging Worgen. Alright, well, I can clear out his board with Swipe. He is just like... I don't know, like at the dentist, opening wide for Swipe. And that is a-okay by me, because I have Swipe. So, boink. And then that's that. So, I actually have not drawn yet my power cards here, but again, they're in here. There's a lot of them. He's spending his entire turn Hammer of Wrathing, which I'm totally down with, because that really just, you know, that's just him not playing anything more important. This, I'll just kill with the Keeper of the Grove. Druid of the Claw, tempting, but I would actually rather do this, because this puts more minions on the field. They don't both die to Consecration. One of them doesn't even die to Hammer of Wrath. If he has Truce of a Champion, whatever, that's half of his mana. I just don't care at this point. I am happy to wait until my big cards come online. If he plays, like, something that will die, I'd love to see him play, like, a Core Hound. Then I'd kill it with Starfire. No, I'm not quite so lucky, unfortunately. So Starfire on this, is that the right move? Yeah, the alternative is I just let him keep it. I could run in... No, that's bad. I could play this as a 4-6 with Taunt, but now I'm letting him keep this, and I'm not killing it. Yeah, I think we'll just Starfire this. Draw a card. Keeper of the Grove, I would say, has done his job, but he has more health. Actually, yeah, I'm going to, again, play it passively here. Keep the thing that has more health. Keep the thing that can mop up more recruits. And he's got 5 cards to my 6, plus I have a creature on the board. Again, I just need to get my big stuff, and I'm totally fine. He is going to get a weapon. I don't think I have any oozes in this deck. But the Druid of the Claw holds up against it nicely enough. I am tempted to silence this, but I don't think it's quite worth it. There it is. Okay, so against a Paladin, I don't have any problems doing this whatsoever. Because there's no Deadly Shot or anything like that. He can humiliate it, still has an 8 health taunt. Still kills what he's got. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. He needs like a Blessing of Kings or a Shattered Sun Cleric, some kind of a buff. That will do it, and that's actually very efficient because he can pop that for damage and then use the True Silver Champion. But I guess he doesn't want to get hit for that much damage. He actually has a Shattered Sun Cleric as well, so you can use the Loot Hoarder and the Silverhand Recruit to finish off my Ironbark. Well, I admit that is actually pretty annoying that he had the Argent Commander and a Shattered Sun Cleric. I was hoping he'd have to use the weapon at least. And he's not going to use it. He's going to hit me in the face, so that signals very strongly he has another weapon, probably another True Silver Champion. Okay. What I'm going to do here is play the Questing Adventure, and then defend it with the Druid. So I've got this, which is ready to rock. He needs a Hammer of Wrath. True Silver Champion's not good enough. Consecration's not good enough. Actually, Consecration is good enough. Consecration would get this down to 1 health, and now this down to 4. Then this would kill my bear, and then the Shattered Sun Cleric could kill it. It'd be a mutual board clear. Or, of course, Equality plus Consecration always does the job. Yep, there's the True Silver Champion. Acolyte doesn't really matter right now. Recruit, don't care. I could use that other swipe anytime now, deck, anytime you're ready. And he is going to get to kill off the Questing Adventurer. The problem is that his board is kind of unimpressive at that point, because the creature that he uses to kill the Adventurer is pretty weak. So he's just got a pretty crappy board, and he's way low on life. And I still can't get any of my big drops. Is this the time to nourish? I think actually this is the time to silence and play a Worgen. Is there a card behind this Innervate? No. And play the healer. I could Innervate, but it doesn't really do much, so we'll just pass the turn. I think I'd rather save the Innervate for the turn where I nourish, so that I still have 7 mana left over in case I top deck my Ancient of War. Sadly, even with Innervate, Ironbark Protector is not playable after you nourish. Alright, he's going to do Blessing of Kings, so we can clear out most of my board with that. With 6 mana, he might be able to clear out even more, we'll see. Outer Peacekeeper, yes, he's going to get to clear out everything. And not let me kill that Acolyte. Okay. Wow, that's awful. Well, let's draw some cards. The Ancient of War is the #1 thing I could hope for. And there it is. Okay, we're going to do Innervate. Play Ogre. Abusive Sergeant. That Spellbreaker still got some juice in him. Kill off his 3/3. This is looking good. I mean, he's got 2 cards. His board's alright. A 5/4 is okay, but I mean, I have a 6/7. And then Defender of Argus, if I can get to put that on the Ogre, it's pretty much lights out. He has another Humility. Well, a 1/7 is still good for mopping up recruits. He's getting a lot of recruits, but I still have a swipe in here. If I get the swipe, I pretty much win. He's got a True Silver Champion. He's not hitting me hard enough. Is he trying to burn me out? Yes, he is. He's healing himself up and burning me out. Well, I've got the Defender of Argus making this a 2/8, plus whatever, plus at least this will be taunted. Mark of Nature, Okay, let's do this. This. I'm actually going to go ahead and do +4 attack. I mean, I might as well. It's already got 8 health, which is a lot of health. And I could attack his face, but there's no reason to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and kill his creatures off. Maybe I should have killed this one. That probably would have made more sense. I'm just going to kill off his creatures. And he's got mediocre crap. That's fine. And then once I draw my other Ironbark or my Ancient of War, I win the game. Almost certainly. It is nice to play the slower, kind of more control decks, because you can just be so much more sure of your ability to win. He's getting me low, but I don't think it's going to be low enough. He wisely kills off my Piglet. There's the Ancient of War, finally. Yoink. And rather than playing these guys, I'd actually like to kill off this thing. I do have to respect the fact that my health's a little bit low, so I will actually hit it first before it becomes enraged, even though that means losing my Defender of Argus. Alright, so now he's just pretty much screwed. I mean, he'd need a very, very, very good card. He'd need like a Tyrion Fordring right now to stand a chance against my 5/10 Taunter. True Silver Champion. Well, this guy, earlier in the chat, someone was saying, like, there's no such thing as too many True Silver Champions. Well, there is. I think he's had too many True Silver Champions. They're not really helping him here. Or at least they're not good against my deck. He's going to actually voluntarily kill all of this stuff. And he's actually going to attack into it, so that makes a certain kind of sense. He got them in for damage before I could draw a swipe, and now he'll have a guaranteed ability to kill that thing. Unluckily for him, I did finally get my other Ironbark Protector. So, sorry, sir. I drew my cheap cards early and my good cards late. I'm down to 7 cards in the deck thanks to Nourish and Starfire and just the game being super long. But now, finally, we've got this thing going on, and we should be fine. Vengeful Mercenary, not a problem. He will kill my Ancient of War. But then, if he doesn't top deck a buff, then the Vengeful Mercenary is not going to get to kill my Ironbark. So, sucks to be him. A buff or some kind of damage, I guess. Alright. I think we can just play all this stuff out. And smash him for 8. He needs to top deck or die. That would be a really cool battle cry for a creature. Top deck or die. So does he have a consecration? That's what he needs. I mean, consecration lets him clear my board out. He could win, potentially, if he got consecration. He didn't get consecration. GG. Too many true silvers would be the name of this arena. I like this because I never name the arenas. I always name them like, you know, stream whatever part 1, so I don't actually have to come up with names. But I like coming up with names during the runs. So the previous one was Day of Druids, and then this is Too Many True Silvers. Let that be a lesson for all the kids watching at home. Okay. Good run so far. The 3 wins, I would say, were very solid. I mean, the Paladin one took a long time to grind out, but it was like a solid win. I wasn't really that much in doubt or in fear of losing at any point. And the loss was just freaking idiotic, so that's fine. Okay, we're up against a Druid. This hand is terrible, which I shouldn't complain about. I've actually been very lucky with my hands the last few games, but hopefully his hand is as terrible as mine, and I do get a curve. That's nice. So this is just like all dying to swipe immediately. Like these 2 cards both, and like all the things they spawn, just die to 1 swipe. And I am up against the Druid, so that's not irrelevant. He has a coin play, which is annoying. Ooze. Well, here's the thing. So if I play this, actually, yeah, I want to play this. That's what I want to play. If I play, what I'm going to do is, he can shapeshift, kill that, use the ooze to kill that, but then I'm totally okay with that because I'm just going to shapeshift to kill his ooze. He's trading his 2nd turn for my 3rd turn, whatever, that's fine with me. I just want things to be even. I think this deck is so top heavy that even against a fellow Druid, it should be favored in the end game. And he's going to do it. Okay, great. So, I'm going to yeah, I'm going to shapeshift, kill that for sure. The question is, do I want to innervate this thing? I think I do, actually. I think I want to innervate that. Normally, you don't want to innervate 3 drops, but I want some board presence here, especially because I have this wolf. I might like, on turn 4, being able to shapeshift and play the wolf and get a surprising amount of damage out to clear out his board. Like, I could kill a Yeti. I could definitely kill that thing. This thing is super bad. Okay, there's the Ironbark ready to rock and roll. So we're going to play the wolf. We're going to shapeshift, hit this thing once, become enraged, then use the piglet to finish it off. Swing for 3. So I actually have the advantage in the opening. I've got a pretty good 5-drop. Starfire for card advantage on turn 6, hopefully. And since I'm the first player, I'm actually a little bit more likely than average to be able to kill his 5-drop with a Starfire. And yeah, then the Ironbark's coming up. Now that was a really good drop. I can't kill this now. Swipe is dumb there, so we're just going to do this and swing by. And the problem now is that I might not be able to... Well, actually I will. Let's say he shapeshifts and kills the Razorfin Hunter with the help of the Keeper of the Grove. I'll use the Tiger to finish off the Keeper, and then swipe. A Starfire will just kill off whatever else he plays. Yeah, for 3 mana, he's doing exactly what I said. It'll die to a Starfire. It may even die to swipe. Actually, let's see what he does. Bluegill Warrior. Okay, so I could swipe his face and then shapeshift to finish this off. Or I could swipe this thing and play this guy that I just drew. I think that's actually good. This is more of like a tempo thing. I'm just putting out a lot of pressure and threats for him to deal with. I could have also shapeshifted to kill the Bluegill Warrior and then killed the Panther with the thing with my Tiger. The problem there is that I had nothing else to do. So it seemed kind of silly. So he swiped me, and I am a mana shy of this. Dark Iron Dwarf was a really good top deck. It's sad that the buff is not permanent, but if you'll notice, even though I was not actually trying to get ahead this game, I was just trying to like put pressure and stay even, I am actually like way ahead. He's really low on health. This is 5 damage. He's already down to 6 health. I can't burn him out because obviously he's healing a life each turn with Shapeshift, but I mean, if he doesn't have an answer for this Ironbark, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. It's actually difficult for a Druid to answer Ironbarks, especially after spending the entire previous turn starfalling a 4/4, which is something you abysmally never want to do. And he's going to Wrath. Okay, so he spent his whole turn clearing me out. He does have card advantage, somehow. I'm not sure how. Oh, it's because I innervated, that's right. So here comes the Ironbark, and it's like, well, what do you do as a Druid? The only thing you can do, I can think of, is play another Ironbark right back. And he does. Oh my god, he might actually win now. That's really funny. Unless I get something good. Oh my gosh, that's actually pretty good. Alright, so we're going to do this. this. Kill that thing. Silence would have been better. So now a swipe actually clears my board. Oh my god, yeah, swipe clears my board. And then I can Starfire him down to 5 health, but then I can't finish him off. Unless I get like, no, swipe and Starfire isn't good enough. That's 9 damage in 1 turn, but I need to deal 10. He has a, oh my god, well I lucked out. He doesn't have a Starfire, a swipe, he has a Starfire, which is all the difference in the world. Is he gonna actually shapeshift and hit the Iron Bark that way? Alright, that's the game. Well, that was close. If he had a Starfire, I'm pretty sure I would have lost. Excuse me, a swipe, I would have lost. I don't know, how did he get the card advantage against me? Oh, it was with the Keeper of the Grove and me innervating the Razorfin Hunter. Yeah, okay. So basically, I didn't know it at the time, but I was basically gambling that he didn't he didn't have a swipe, or else I would lose the game. Yeah, but then again, you know, not only did he need to have the swipe, but he needed to have the Iron Bark Protector, because like I called it, that was like the only thing that a Druid could possibly have that would save him when he was in that situation facing an Iron Bark on the field. And he also had, let me mention, Starfall and a Wrath to clear my board the previous turn. So he was lucky enough. He just didn't have like 100% ridiculous luck, but he had very, very good luck. My deck was just good, and I played it well. So ha, bah, there. Anyway, 4-1, feeling pretty good still. It was that, you know, I'm going to take it back. That game was not just like he has swipe or I lose. Or he doesn't have swipe or I lose. He needed so much more than that swipe to even get him up, like to set him up to the point of being able to win with a swipe. He needed so much other good luck, so I think it was fine. This hand is terrible, as always, but that's fine. That's why the mulligans are here. And, okay, well, I'd rather be second. Not only would I have had an extra mulligan, but I could have coined a 3-drop on turn 2. But if he's slow, which sometimes priests are, then I can just... Oh, no, he has a North Star Cleric. Well, it's not immediately bad. We'll just shapeshift here. I really wish I had my Bloodfen Raptor here. A 3-2 is just perfect. So we'll play the Worgen next turn. That threatens to kill the Northshire Cleric and get Wind Furied. Even if the Northshire Cleric gets buffed by like a Power Word Shield or a Divine Spirit, the Worgen will still bring it down just by attacking it twice. What I don't want to see is him play a 3-2. If he plays a 3-2, then I'm just kind of fucked. Oh my god, he's doing something even worse. He's playing something for 3. Oh man, you're a priest. You're supposed to be slow. You suck. Alright, well anyway, he's got a bunch of 3 health creatures, which is annoying because I have this Keeper of the Grove. For once in my life, I don't have Innervate, which sucks because I would have totally played Druid of the Claw with an Innervate right there. This isn't good. Yeah, this is the kind of situation where because I didn't get my lucky cheap cards in the early part of the draft, he's getting ahead to the point where maybe my big drops are not actually going to dominate the game. Priests also, unlike Druids, actually have answers to this stuff. You know, obviously, Shadow Word, Death, and by the time you play an Ironbark Protector, Mind Control is not too far away. Lightwell, alright, whatever. I really don't care. He's actually being very cheeky here. And that's going to cost him. Oh, I was gonna Keeper of the Grove to silence this, kill the Northshire Cleric, turn on Wind Fury. But I think this might be even better. I'm just gonna do this thing. So, yoink, yoink, and no big deal. I've got a 4-3 with Wind Fury. That's no big deal. Actually, kind of difficult for him to kill this. Priests are kind of famously bad at dealing 3 damage. A 4-3 is like the thing that is like the weakest a creature can be that's like really, really difficult for a priest to deal with. He's got to pull to like either really ridiculous removal, like Holy Fire, or neutral cards like Wolf Rider to take care of this. Dark Iron Dwarf's not enough. He's in trouble, I'd say. Ah, well, that is about as good of an answer as you can hope for. Swipe. This is a tough situation. I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to heal this thing up. Because it's still Wind Fury. And then I'm just going to power through that guy. Shapeshift, it doesn't matter who I hit, it's going to get healed, so it doesn't actually make any difference. But this seems like a decent move. So I still have a 4-4 with Wind Fury. It's still difficult for him to kill, yada yada. And then, Well, now we're getting up to the. He had a really good start, but then he made just one critical mistake. He had that moment where the grizzly bear could have just killed this thing. He chose to sneak through 3 extra damage, and that's like literally making him lose the game. So this is why I'm very hesitant to try to cheekily get those extra points of damage, and just not like 'cause sometimes like the consequences are so devastating. It's better just to like get the trade done and like try to deal 3 extra damage later. Okay, so he's actually going to finally kill my Worgen by turning into making a light wall juggernaut. But honestly, by this point, it's kind of like the damage has been done. Also, I have a silence. And I can even Starfire it. I mean, there's just a billion ways I could deal with it. I think the Starfire is probably the best. I could even Dark Iron Dwarf. Wow. Let's Starfire. I like the card advantage. Starfire is a difficult card to use because it takes up most of your turn. So on 7 mana, I still can't play the Iron Bark. And actually 7 is really awkward. All I can do is play 1 card in Shapeshift for now. But I'm got 6 cards to his 5, and we're basically in an endgame. He's dealt no damage to me. I've dealt no damage to him, but I'm like way ahead on cards, and my deck is probably better than his. So yeah, this is just should be a win. It'll just take a little bit of time to grind it out, as it were. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. I could make a Panther, but let's just kill the Loot Hoarder off. I don't want to getting buffed and bringing down my 4/6 Taunter. I obviously was not drafting cards like this to play around Priests, because Priests aren't that prevalent as they used to be, but a 4/6 does happen to be extremely good against Priests. Holy Fire doesn't kill it. Shadow Words don't kill it. You can mind control it, but I mean, it's not that great of a mind control target. And with this board here, it's pretty likely I'm going to be able to play an Iron Bark next turn on a pretty clear conscience. And since I'm the first player, that actually is nice. It means it's like an extra turn that this survives before it can be mind controlled. So that's kind of a big deal. Well, that was a really educational game. I think I should make a video about this. Let me try to remember that. Like, why you need to kill your opponent's creatures. Because him not killing my Worgen just caused him such a big problem. And it's not like, oh, he should have played around Mark of Nature. Like, that's not the point. The point is that you should just kill your opponent's creatures unless you are really solidly in the lead. So Dark Iron Dwarf dropping down as a 4/4. Here he's taking advantage of the nerf, as it were, by making a temporary buff here. We'll happily play Iron Bark Protector. Don't see any reason to let that live. Let's just kill it. Swing. I mean, what does he do? Shadow Word Death, I guess, for this is, the answer, but I can still play an Ogre after that. He's got the Shadow Word Death. Okay. And a Holy Smite. Well, he still has 4 mana left over. Wow, that was quite the stylish way of dealing with my board. Alright, what I'm going to do is play the Boulder Fist Ogre for sure. Do I Power of the Wild here? I think so. Let's just do a little buff. There is a little bit of a danger, which is that this now dies to Big Game Hunter. I'll take that risk. Big Game Hunter is an epic. This is the arena. Not super likely. So I have more cards than he does, and I have a bigger board than he does. He can mind control, of course, but never mind. He's not going to mind control next turn. I mean, until next turn, but he had another Shadow Word Death for that. Well, the good news is that now I'm pretty mind control proof, and I still have minions to play, which is nice. And Defender of Argus. Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Buff that. And do this. So do I follow my own advice? Do I kill this thing or do I deal 7 damage? I am going to deal 7 damage. That's a lot of damage. Now, if he mind controls, I'm really okay with it. I don't have a problem dealing with the 5/5. And it is his whole turn. So he steals this, he kills that. I can still take care of it. 5/6. Well, that's actually fine by me as well. Oh my god. Well, I have silence, which is nice, so he's not a 6/12 anymore. This guy went for a pretty gimmicky draft, I see. Anyway, I might be able to kill him just with swipe, swipe, bite. I mean, this is 8, 12 damage. Technically, it's enough to kill him. And actually, if this is 14 and... Oh, man. Well, halt the presses here. Let's first of all copy his 6/12 Stormwind Champion. And then we'll swipe his face to kill off the Darkscale Healer.
Well played.
And well played. Okay, so yeah, I should have said thanks rather than well played. That makes it seem a little bit premature, but really he's dead. I've got the kill. This is 6 damage that I can deal, plus all my minions. Felpago says, yes, I made it. I missed the first 2 streams. I'm sorry. My turn is over. I missed the first 2 streams and didn't want to miss a third. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, sir. We are having a bit of a tough day. We had an 8-win run. We also had a couple of 3-win runs. But this one, you came for the good one. This one's going to be good. This one's going all the way to the distance, I think. Actually, I don't know that if that's true, but whatever. It's looking pretty good here. So, yeah, I'm still killing him just with swiping Keeper of the Grove. He needs to deal with my minions. That doesn't do enough. Holy Nova doesn't do... Oh, it actually does enough because he heals himself and heals... Oh my god, that's annoying. Okay. So maybe what we do here is we actually silence. Yeah, that's... What am I talking about here? This is easy. Silence. Now it's not a taunter, and now my minions do the job. Yay! Okay. Kimoko says, don't jinx it. I'm not superstitious. I can jinx it all I want, and it'll still be fine. Plus, I'm not really jinxing it. I'm just saying what I think. I'm trying to improve those deck evaluation skills that I seem to be so sorely lacking in. Now, that game, I think my opponent could have won it if he had killed my Worgen with an Ironfur Grizzly. Instead, he chose to deal 3 extra damage. I put a Mark of Nature on my Worgen, killed his Grizzly, got a Wind Fury creature that was really hard for him to deal with, and then he lost. So it's just not worth those risks unless you think you're playing an aggro deck, and if you're playing Priest, you're probably not playing aggro. I mean, watch that be the next metagame dominator, Priest aggro. It's all about the abusive sergeants. Mr. Popo says, I'm not superstitious about ya, but I'm not flipping Leok. Oh man, this is great. What a hand. What a hand. Well, this is the kind of hand I like to see. So we'll just keep everything here. Again, we're not trying to win the opening. Like, if I were trying to win the opening, I might mulligan one of my 2 drops away, but we're just trying to stay even. Now, I'm going to go ahead and point out the Geomancer. And you might say, well, Boris, why would you do that? If you do that, the Geomancer's certainly going to die, and then you're not going to get to spell damage up your swipe. That's true. But if I coin out this, one of them's going to die to the hero ability. What I'd rather do is maybe play this later in the game and then follow it up right away with the Power of the Wild to get a lot of power on the board all at once. Not sure if that's, accurate thinking, but it's what I'd like to do. Anyway, that's not going to happen because actually my opponent didn't just shoot this thing stupidly. She actually had to play. So we'll do this. And do I play a 3-2 or do I play this stuff all split up? I'm going to play this stuff all split up because, again, if she uses hero ability to kill this thing, that's fine by me. I'm totally okay with that, 100%. And then she's not doing anything else. And it's not complete card advantage because I still do keep a 1-1 for my trouble. Okay, Keeper of the Grove. That's actually really, really good to see. We'll do this. So I could actually try the Mark of Nature on the Worgen again. Make it a 3-6 that has a lot of room to get enraged. But if she makes something that's worth killing, I'll just obviously kill it. She's a Raging Worgen, so she let this live. Well, I think actually the move here is just to put the Mark of Nature on that Worgen. So we're going to do that. And then now mages can deal with this really easily. Polymorph or Fireball would both do it. Frostbolt would actually do it. That's like 3 common answers that a mage has to what I've got here. But that's okay. I still think I'm in pretty good shape having done all that. Does she have a free secret? Does she have a free secret? No, she does not. Now what I'd like to do is play this and Shapeshift, but that's something I'm a minute short for. I think this is like a repeat of the last game. I think I'm just going to do this again. So healing 3 seems good right there. I'm not going to leave this creature alive. I'm not going to be greedy like that. There's no reason for me to play that way. This is not an aggro deck. I'm just trying to like hang on and bait out polymorphs, you know, so that my Iron Barks can drop onto an empty board and survive. I mean, if she had a polymorph, she really should use it, I think. Argent Commander is a good answer to that, definitely, but I can kill it with Keeper of the Grove, so I'm still doing okay.
I must safeguard the land.
I could play a Panther. I'm just really not that excited about playing the Panther, honestly, against a Mage, because we're coming up on Flame Strike, and the buff might actually be really useful later on. Delpago says in the chat, this is looking pretty good. This is a pretty good game. She's got 6 to my 6. I'm about to draw 7, and then she's really got nowhere on me. Alright, so she's going to buff it up. Here's where I do wish I had that Kobold Geomancer. So, do I switch gears now that I've drawn Bite? That's the question. I mean, I could... Let's see what I've got. I've got 5 damage. She's down to 10 health. I think this is actually... I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And this. So, now... I mean, the amount of damage I've just dealt her is crazy. If she plays a taunt, then I cannot kill her, because swipe only gets her down to 1 health. But I'm obviously unkillable with 33 health, and if she does not play a taunt right now, well then I just kill her with bite and swipe. Furthermore, it needs to be a taunt that doesn't die to a swipe, because if I swipe the taunter and it deals 1 residual damage to her, bite will finish her off, so it has to be a big taunt. Anyway, it doesn't actually matter. We have... Well, actually, let me kill her in style with a bite and shapeshift. Ending with 38 health to 0. That's a pretty nice way to humiliate a mage. Actually, I won on turn 8. Again, I wasn't really trying for that. We just did have a really nice draw with a bunch of 2-drops, and the mage was just a little bit slow. And then the Worgen plus Mark of Nature combo, which I only have like 1 piece of each in the deck, is just a pretty good combo, and it happened to come up twice. Okay, folks, I need to take a break, because I've been sitting in this chair for like the past 4 hours, actually almost 5 hours. When I stand up, stretch, relax, enjoy life, I urge you to do the same. It is 3:51 p.m. on the clock here, so let's just say that we'll be back. Break time. Back at 4:02 Hearthstone time. Smiley face. There it is. Alright, folks. Thanks for watching. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves or stand up, stretch, relax, enjoy life, whatever you want to do. I'm going to get a snack. And then we'll be back in 10 minutes or so for the continuation of this run. See you in a bit. Whoa! There was a lot of really cool stuff going on in the chat while I was gone. Well, welcome back everyone. That is it for our break time. Let's go ahead and hop back into this arena, playing with our Druid deck. Some people said some very interesting things. I'm trying to catch up on it a little bit. One person asked a question, what are some cards you guys like that are, that are considered to be bad? And one person mentioned Void Terror. I've actually tried that card a number of times as a Warlock. I could never get it to be that great. But perhaps if you build your deck around it correctly, it can be good. Like maybe with those Power Overwhelmings that I had in my failed Warlock run, a Void Terror would have been fine. I can't remember if I saw one in the draft or not. Up against another Druid, now that's good and bad. Obviously a mirror match, you never know how your deck compares to theirs. He could also have a whole lot of endgame, or he could have a much faster deck. Here my draws are right. This wolf is not my favorite thing to drop on turn 2, but it certainly could be dropped. He's gonna innervate a 3 as well. Okay, we do say don't innervate 3 drops, but I think that might be an exception actually, because yeah, this is pretty damn solid. Wow. Do I shapeshift? No, I'm gonna play the wolf. I'm gonna play the wolf here. So he can kill the wolf. That's totally fine. Like if he kills the wolf and then he also kills the Razorfin Hunter, you know, he went down a card to play this and an innervate. That's just fine by me. I don't care. And he is gonna kill the wolf. Smart man. All right, can I get my own innervate? No. So we're just gonna play this. Basically, I don't care if his king kills off like a bunch of my stuff because it took 2 cards to come into this world. So I'm fine with just, you know, holding the fort. Oh man, he's got something good though. He Wild Growth, going on another card, but then he's got a Druid of the Claw. Oh my god, this is bad. Alright, alright. We can still do this. We can still do this, folks. I think what we need to do is silence this though. And then we can kill off the legendary here. And then, well, the Druid of the Claw is going to kill my Spellbreaker. I never have enough mana to play these bananas, but that's fine. We'll play my own Druid of the Claw next turn as a 4/6 with taunt. So finally, he skips a beat, plays a Golem. Is he going to shapeshift? Does he have a real play? No, he just shapeshifts. Perfect. Okay, so I got the Druid of the Claw now. Now, this could die to Dark Iron Dwarf still, or Abusive Sergeant, but we have a chance now. A chance in hell of stabilizing, and if I do stabilize, he went down so many cards playing Wild Growth. Well, not so many cards, sorry. He didn't go down any cards playing King Mukla, but he went down a card playing Wild Growth. So if we stabilize, we should be okay. So you have in 4 cards an Abusive Sergeant, or a Dark Iron Dwarf. He doesn't, but this is just as good. So he can trade off the Silenced Bear, and then finish it off with this guy. And this guy actually lives, so you know what I need? I need Swipe, yes indeed. That would be great. And I don't get it. Oh, Starfire is just awful here. Oh, yuck. Well, what I think I'm going to do is play this. Shapeshift. And then I'm just going to use these bananas. I mean, really, if I don't use them, what's the point? And then I have a 5/4. So I, like, basically, the bananas were quote-unquote free because I got them from the King Mukla. So it was kind of like a 5/4 for 4 mana, which isn't great, but it's not terrible either. It's vanilla stats. It's got the Booty Bay, which is actually really good against the 5/4. However, I can Starfire that, and I'll be pretty happy to do so. I wish I had a mana left over so I could Shapeshift and finish off the Golem, but can't have everything. So, you know, Swipe would be pretty great here as well. Nope, not a chance. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, I could play Defender of Argus, I guess, but no, let's just Starfire this thing. Bust the Golem up. So this game is very clear now what's happening. I mean, he's trying to race me down, and I'm trying to stabilize, because I have the card advantage. Does he have an Iron Bark? No, he has a War Golem. It's not quite as good. His Claw, though, he's stingily holding on to this damaged Golem. Well, that is my first time dealing damage, but he has so much armor it doesn't actually even hurt him. So now we have an Iron Bark. Okay, so it's another very, very scary moment for me, because we have to ask, is he going to be able to deal with this Iron Bark? If he can, I probably lose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Innervate to Shapeshift and kill off this damaged Golem. I think that I've held out for as long as I could for my swipes. I just need to hope that my 8 is better than his 7/7, or at least that if he does kill this, he doesn't kill it in some, like, ridiculous way. like, ridiculously effective way. I like the idea of giving this +1/+1 and taunt via the Defender of Argus. The problem is that it's stealth, so it wouldn't actually have taunt the turn it came into play, because as you know, stealth overrides taunt. Is he going to hit me with a shapeshift? No, he's going to use Elven Archer! Are you frickin' kidding me? Jesus. Ugh. Well, okay. First Ironbark didn't work. Should we try a second one? Yup. Let's give that another shot. So he's got 6, 7 damage. Again, in 4 cards, he needs some kind of source of damage in order to bring this guy down. Elven Archer. Gotta be fucking kidding me. Alright, so Starfire, well, it depends on what else he has. If he has a Wrath, I'd say that was good. If he has to lose the Lore, then that's not so good. And indeed, it is not so good. Hey, Swipe can come up anytime now. How many freaking things does he have? Jeez, this is a really aggressive Druid deck. Can I get a Swipe? Not a chance. But Boulder Fist Ogre is almost as good. That is almost as good. We're going to give this guy Taunt. So it's kind of like a makeshift Ironbark Protector. It's most of an Ironbark Protector. Now this guy, he killed 2 Ironbark Protectors already. If he kills this and then still beats me, I am going to, you know, flip a Leok. He still has 3 cards. He could still continue to have interactive things here. Mountain Giant? That's annoying. I mean, I don't quite have the ability to deal with it effectively. And I still don't have a Swipe. Well, we're going to have to fish for a Swipe. There's just nothing else that matters right now except for getting one of my 2 goddamn swipes. Why are these swipes being such bitches? Nope. Nope. Thank you! Oh my god. Alright. So what's the best way to use the swipe now is, of course, the question. I think the best way is like this. Because I'm going to have to lose my Ogre anyway. So I'm going to swipe his face, pops the Divine Shields, then I'm going to do this. So it's risky, it's very risky, but when you're behind you have to take risks. So right now my 7/5 threatens to kill his 8/7, it's a taunt so you can't ignore it. If he has a silence or like can buff this guy's health, then that would suck. But I think that that was an important risk to take. I think I needed to clear out all of his other stuff and really go for the total board sweep. He has Power of the Wild to make this an 8/8. Well, that's actually fine because I still have the Defender of Argus to finish it off. It's not the end of the world by any means. He has Stampeding. Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it. Stampeding Kodo. Really? Stampeding Kodo. Well, now I'm screwed because I can't shapeshift this thing. Ancient of War. Alright, well, that was timely. So we're going to go ahead and start a questing adventurer party. Ancient of War. So I played 2 Ironbark Protectors. I had a Boulder Fist Ogre get Defender of Argus, and now I'm playing an Ancient of War. If he can get past that, then I will just, well, if he gets past that, then he deserves to fucking win, I guess, is the moral of this story. He has a silence. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Well, that's the game. He just has 12 damage on the field. Oh, he doesn't see it! He didn't see that he had the kill. Well, it might not make a difference, but it might make a difference, because, I mean, I can kill this guy and gain a little bit of life, so it's like, not... Oh my god, he missed the kill. Sweet, sweet, sweet. The question is, who do I bite? I think this guy, because he has more health. Gonna heal up. And I'm gonna I mean, this, everything dies to swipe. This, he at least needs to shapeshift, but does that really make a difference? I think I should probably just assume he doesn't have a swipe, so we'll just do this. Oh my god, I can't believe the answers that he has had. Watch one of these 2 cards just be swipe. Just watch it. I just can't freaking wait. But he totally had the kill. I was at 12 health, he had a 9 power and a 3 power creature. And of course he has a swipe, because, man, why wouldn't he? Luckily, I have enough health to survive for a little while, but I'm, like, actually, like, out of big cards. I've used both Ironbarks, my Ancient, my Boulder Fist Ogre. I don't think I have anything else in here, other than, like, removal and stuff. Unless I'm mistaken. Okay, we're gonna do this. This. And do I just put this on right now? It doesn't make any difference, because it's stealthed. I don't want to miss a chance to shapeshift, because every point of health might matter now. So next turn I'll probably have enough mana to do this, and whatever else I draw, so I'll make a 5/8 or 5-9 with taunt, excuse me. And if that doesn't friggin' work, then just, you know, suck my balls. Ironbark Motherfucker. Motherfucker, honest to God. Well, I'm gonna have to 2-for-1 into this. Swipe! Hey, that's pretty good. So I think this is definitely what I need to do. So that's gone. If I Mark of Nature here, it's a 5-9. I can kill it and survive. But it's gonna be at 1 health. Yeah, I think what I'd actually rather do, as much as I hate this, I'm gonna give it... I'm gonna give the taunt to... Oh god, I meant to... Oh shit, that was a mistake. Oops. That could actually cost me the game. I really meant to give this +4 attack, but I guess I just reflexively gave it +4 health. I should have given it +4 attack and just killed the Ironbark. Well, okay, what we have to do now is trade the tiger in. There's no point crying over spilled milk. I should have given this +4 attack and then left my tiger alone. This way, 2-6 is just stupid. I don't know why I would ever do that. So anyway, he's got 2 cards and a pretty big lead in this top deck where I've used up all of my juice. Luckily, that's pretty crappy right now, and that's not very good either. Shapeshift doesn't really do much because I guess I have a 2-6 taunt. Yay! And then okay, Raging Worgen, not a bad card. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's do that. Shapeshift, kill that. Pass the turn. Okay, so now I'd say that I have the lead in the top deck war, but it's only a very, very, very slight one. He just needs 1 good removal card, 1 swipe or something, and then it's pretty much over. I cannot believe... I mean, I'm sure he's thinking the same thing. Like, man, I had, like, such an amazing thing. I can't believe this guy has, like, been able to put down threat after threat. But, yeah, I mean, it's been kind of insane how good his situation has been. Well, I get to clear the board on my turn. And, then, you know, hope for something good. So, no Mission Mentor, that's good. I mean, fatigue is a problem potentially, but I just have to go for it. Dark Iron Dwarf. That's actually, yeah, that is really good. I get to kill that, turn on Wind Fury, buff it, kill the Stormwind Champion, and then I can Shapeshift, kill off the Imp, and swing at his face. So I have the lead. I mean, an Ironbark Protector, you know, and he still wins the game, but definitely I have the advantage for most cards he could plausibly draw at this point. Also, note that I'm killing these imps with my Shapeshift. The reason is because his hand is empty. I would think twice about that if his hand weren't empty, but because his hand is empty, I know he's not going to get 2 swipes and kill me with them, so I'm more content to just kill off those imps. Alright, he's going to Shapeshift and kill off my Geomancer, finally. Good for him, but I get to kill off his Panther with what I have, and I get a top deck for the turn, so that's good. Power of the Wild. Well, do I want a new card, or do I want to buff my existing ones? I think I actually want a new one. It seems better for some reason. So at this point, a swipe will kill me now. It'll kill off all my creatures. Swipe the dwarf, this dies, Shapeshift, finish that off. That would suck. But, as long as he doesn't have a swipe or an Ironbark or something ridiculous, that's still fine. Yeah, that's not a big deal. Shapeshift, finish off my Gnomish Inventor. This is the one problem, right, that I have, is that I keep having to kill his creatures. I can't, like, ignore them because he'll just kill me if I do. Faces Manipulator, not the most impressive card ever. Do I play it as a 4-4, or do I hold out for something better? Well, I think what I definitely do is this. That. Yeah, I'm not going to play it. I don't know if that was a mistake. Maybe I should have just played a 4-4 for 5 and been content. But it feels better for me to wait for something better to come down. Because it wasn't going to kill... Well, it wasn't going to kill him. It was like 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 4 is 11. And then he's at 13 health after shapeshifting. Okay. Well, he's got that. Keeper of the Grove is good. So we're going to copy a 4-6. Do I win 4, 7, 8, 9, 10? No, I don't win, so I'm going to Moonfire this. Because I don't want it to be so that if he like top decks an Argent Commander or something that I just lose. Ironbark Protector, and he could still win the game. He already played one himself, so he'd have to have another one. Swipe? Oh my gosh, he actually did have a swipe, so if he had it earlier, he could have easily won. But that was a little bit late, because with the Spiteful Smith, I've still got a creature on the board. Now I'm running out of cards. I've only got 2 cards left, but his life is pretty low as well.
I'm almost out of cards.
Raid Leader is good to see. There's no 1 card that will kill me.
For the wild.
And I don't know what the last card in my deck is. I think I've used both swipes, so I don't think it's anything that can directly kill my opponent. He's saying, well played. I assume it's because he's gonna lose, otherwise I don't know.
We must
Yeah, Shatterstone Cleric is not gonna change the outcome. All that Chaz mentions that if I'd played the if I'd played the Faceless Manipulator, I would have had the kill. It would have been really, really close. Abusive Sergeant. It would have been close, but with him shape-shifting, as all that Chaz notes right afterwards, he could have hung on by 1 health. So because the Faceless Manipulator on the Dark Iron Dwarf wasn't giving me a kill a turn earlier, it didn't seem right to play it. But I could also see just playing it for the sake of having it on the board. Maybe that would have been more precise. Anyway, we win one of the most epic games that I think I've ever played on this channel. And that is the 2nd game in the history of my channel where my opponent had the kill on the board, missed it, and then lost because of it. So that's cool. Nice to get the 7th win that way. By the way, I should mention, this is actually my 200th arena since the account wipe back in the closed beta. So luckily, it was a good one. Would have been kind of sad if my, 200th arena had been something lame, like 3 wins or whatever. Wow, another good opening hand. Can't complain about that. So we're just going to keep this whole thing. Probably, well, I'll see what he does on turn 1 before I decide. But again, I might just play the Geomancer just to keep this for later on. Wow, you wouldn't know this was such an endgame top-heavy deck from this hand. This is pretty great. Mr. Popo wishes me a happy anniversary in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play the Geomancer. I don't see much of a reason to throw away a 3-2. When a 2-2 will do the job just as well. He does have the coin. He could play Shattered Sun Cleric. If he does, I'll just have to shapeshift and suck it up. But Thelpago says, so will we be seeing the things I learned from playing Hearthstone Arena video with the Proverbs? That's right. I did say that I would do that. Yes, that should be coming up at some point soon here. All right. What I'm going to do here is... there's just no good way to do this. I'll just do that and heal myself. At least I'm not wasting the heal. Scarlet Crusader gets value by killing my Earthen Ring Farseer, but next turn I can make a Panther shapeshift and kill off a Scarlet Crusader, so I'm not like falling behind in time. Oh no! Oh no, the Scarlet Crusader is going to get buffed. And he has a Succubus, which is actually kind of a problem. Well, I hope the Succubus gets buffed, and it does. Good. Whew. That would have really sucked. So, yeah, we'll shapeshift. I mean, the problem, of course, is that now the Succubus can kill the Panther. Like, I am starting to slip behind, basically. The Succubus can kill the Panther. And then she's going to get buffed up to 2 health, so I cannot shapeshift it to death. But I can always draw a fucking swipe, and then maybe I'll be able to catch back up into things. Okay, well, I really desperately need swipe now. It's just, like, my only hope. Luckily, my opponent doesn't kill my creature. Unluckily... oh, fuck. It buffed the Succubus. If it had buffed the Shattered Sun Cleric, I could have played Dark Iron Dwarf and killed it. As it is, Dark Iron Dwarf doesn't deal enough damage, and I don't have enough mana left over for the shapeshift. Oh, this is actually really awkward. Okay. I can only play one of my cards. Okay, we'll do this. So the reason being, first of all, I can shapeshift and get a point of health, which is important. And then second of all, it's possible that next turn with Dark Iron Dwarf and shapeshift, I'll be able to finally bring down the Succubus. And the Dark Iron Dwarf has an extra target on the field now if he does decide to use removal or kill my creatures. Yeah, this Succubus was really good in this game, I gotta admit, but it had help from the Blood Imp and the Shattered Sun Cleric. I just really need to get Swipe. I mean, if I can get Swipe, I'm just totally fine. The Blood Imp dies, I can finish off the Succubus, like, it's just no probalo. But my swipes are really shy, and my opponent's ignoring everything I do, and the Succubus keeps getting buffed to ridiculous heights. Bite! I can deal 5 damage with it, that's not really enough. I mean, I can kill the Succubus, but then this would live. I'd rather put something else on the board. So, what I'm going to do is this. Even with Shapeshift, I cannot kill that Succubus because it got buffed, so we're going to kill that. Swing by, swing, swing. So that Succubus has just been wailing on me all day. But now, if he doesn't kill my stuff, the Raid Leader plus Bite, which is playable next turn, should work. Or, you know, fucking Swipe would also work as well for getting things back under control in this hilarious game against the Warlock. Against Doom, I had such a great start, but his, you know, a Warlock's fast start is better than a Druid's fast start. You know what I mean? Just like a Druid's endgame is probably better than a... Like a Druid's good endgame is probably better than a Warlock's good endgame. Really? I can't believe swipes are that shy. Come on, guys. You know you want to party. He seems not to like his options or to be unsure whether to keep on bashing me or to kill my creatures. Boy, it looks like he has some kind of a tough turn here. Maybe he's deciding between playing 2 minions or playing like a minion and Shadow Bolt for the dwarf. I guess probably the Shadow Bolt would be better. Then I guess he wouldn't be thinking about it so hard. I don't know. He might be trying to figure out if he can kill me with like power overwhelmings or something. Therio mentions in the chat, I'm not so sure about that. A Warlock's good endgame contains cards like Molten Giants, Twisting Nethers, and Jiraxxus. Oh, that's true, that's true. I mean, certainly in Constructed, the picture is completely different. Well, and then Shaz, all that Shaz says that I tend to think a Warlock, if able to life tap, has a better endgame than anybody. That is true. The Warlock's life tapping does give him an edge in the endgame. At the same time, actually I should probably play this first. At the same time, I usually, maybe I'm just more optimistic, but I usually figure that a Warlock's not going to be able to life tap freely if the game has gone, like, well up to that point. Like, basically, if the Warlock has been stomping you all game, then you're going to lose because you're just behind. And the fact that he can life tap is irrelevant. If a Warlock is actually life tapping a whole lot, in the end game, then that means he should have run you over in the early game. I just don't. It's hard, I guess, for me to picture a situation where a Warlock would have the health to life tap freely in the end game, but hasn't already just crushed his opponent. I mean, I guess if he had like a really slow start or something like that, or is playing a constructed deck that's a control deck. By the way, through all this conversation, I should mention that like this Warlock has been playing very strangely. He like lost time on a turn, and then he like shadow bolted my 2/3 instead of my questing adventurer. So something weird is going on. I'm getting a little bit of a freebie here. He should definitely be doing a lot better than he is. Well, he had Siphon Soul for my Ironbark. That is the Warlock's one and only answer to Ironbark Protector. Let's just go ahead and put stuff on the board. Yes, I know Hellfire, but when you're behind, take risks. Also, Hellfire does not kill off this Hero Gnomish Inventor. Theriu says, Siphon Soul is pretty good, lol. I am inclined to agree that lol, it is pretty good. Innervate is not helpful, and it's likely going to be a dead card forever. Let's go ahead and bite, shapeshift, kill this thing. And we'll play a Raid Leader here. That's important because it allows the Imp Master to die. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and kill the Imp. I could have left the Imp alive and tried to trigger Wind Fury with the Worgen against it, but let's not do any shenanigans. Keeping the Imp alive would let it die to my Bloodfen Raptor. Let's just, be cool. Be cool, my brothers. Be cool. Shadow Flame. Okay, well, so we're in a top deck war. He has the advantage because he can draw more cards. He just has the advantage. Because this is not so much endgame, this is just a top deck war. Innervate, I have a dead card. So, yeah, good for him for having that Shadow Flame. And he can get double the cards per turn against me, so I'd say that he's probably going to win, but if I do get an Ancient of War or my other Ironbark and he doesn't have an answer for those, I should be okay. Well, he's got that now, so that's great. He deals 7 damage a turn to my 4 damage per turn. Well, 7 minus 1 is 6. I don't know, it's interesting. I'm not gonna, I mean, I can't kill it, so I might as well not worry about it. But technically, if you're doing the math, he deals 7 minus 1 is 6 damage per turn. I deal 4 damage per turn, so he does do more damage per turn with the Ventricle compared to my Murlocs. Now, the Tiger obviously changes things. I don't think I'm close enough to burn him out, though, but if he life taps carelessly, he might be in trouble. Hey, you know what I need? I need Swipe now. That would be pretty great. Oh my god, Swipe would be pretty amazing. My other Swipe would just be a delight. Does he have the kill? 7, 11, 13, 14. Anyway, I had this, luckily. So, yeah. Let's shapeshift. I'm gonna go... can I win? 5, 7, 8, 9? No. I'm going to kill this and this, and the reason I'm doing that is to make it harder for him to get past the Iron Bark. In fact, I'm considering even killing off the Succubus. Yeah, I think that's actually more important than dealing damage to his face. Because if he can't, if he draws a non-interactive card, then the Iron Bark just wins me the game. So that's nice. So he's life tapping. One of those two cards needs to be interactive. Mr. Purple says, kill the Ventrico. That's a reasonable choice. I wouldn't fault someone for doing it. The reason I believe it would have been a mistake to kill the Ventrico Mercenary is because if my 8/8, my 8/8 is better than his 7/6, basically. It taunts him, stops it from attacking other targets, and he can't kill it with a 7-power creature. So I would rather gamble that he doesn't draw an interactive card than gamble that the other stuff of his doesn't hurt me. But it would have been a reasonable choice. I wouldn't have held it against anyone for killing the Ventrico. It just would have taken up all of my other resources. So then if he did get an answer for my Iron Bark, I would have been pretty screwed. All that Chaz says, so about that Warlock endgame, lol. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I underestimate the ability of a Warlock to, like, be able to life tap freely where it is relevant. Like, it just seems like, you know, either the Warlock overruns you, or the Warlock doesn't, but then you should have been dealing damage to him all game. It's a tricky question, though. That's what's good about Hearthstone, is you have these difficult philosophical questions. Okay, I am going to mulligan that. It's a bit risky, I know, because it might get replaced with, like, an Iron Bark. But getting replaced with a second swipe is just fine by me. The only problem with having 2 swipes in your opening hand like this is there's a chance that you're going to have to use them against single targets and not have the luxury of using them where they're extremely good. But my opponent mercifully passed on turn 1. And even if he plays something on turn 2, I don't really care because I have Raid Leader, so it should kill most 3-mana cards. I just don't want him to play Forked Lightning to kill this stuff. That would suck. Stormforged Axe also sucks, actually, a lot. That just really sucks, yeah. Damn. Do I even play the Raid Leader here? I don't even know if that's worth it. I don't see the point of playing Raid Leader. At all. Yeah. That Stormforged Axe is an incredibly good weapon. It, like, kind of kills me single-handedly here. So, is he going to consider this worthy of an axe charge? That's the main question. It's possible that he'll leave this around and I can actually buff it and have this trade up. Possible. Not likely, but possible. He's going to play a Totem. It's the 1/1. Ah, really? Well, actually, I can kill it with Shapeshift, I guess. Or it dies to swipe. I guess it's not that bad. Anyway, he uses the axe to kill my thing, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to trot out the Raid Leader just to die. Defender of Argus would seem really silly here. So he's not really doing anything to me. So I'm not going to do anything to him. I'm fine with waiting a few turns. I wish I had Innervate so I could play this on turn 5. Maybe I'll top deck it. Maybe I'll get Druid of the Claw. Maybe he'll give me a good swipe target. Who knows? That's a good swipe target. That is definitely a good swipe target. I am perfectly happy to take my entire turn swiping that thing. Would have been nice to play the Dark Iron Dwarf, though, but I can't have everything. So next turn, we're painfully 1 mana away from playing this Ancient of War, but nothing has happened all game, so as long as I can survive next turn, I should be okay. So really, it's up to him to do something really good here.
I wonder.
Alright, he's coining out something. Is it a Fire Elemental? Oh my god, that's not what I was hoping to see. Well... That's bad. Because I can kill it, of course, with bite or with swipe, but then it just comes back. Is that even worth it? I guess so. I mean, what else am I doing with my life here? So we'll kill it, sure, and then it'll come back. So next turn I can play a 5/10 with taunt, but he's had an entire 6 mana turn to, you know, prepare for that. And that's a problem for me because he might just be able to beat me. It's possible that I'll be able to swipe his stuff to death. Like if I top deck Kobold Geomancer, that'd be pretty great. Oh my god, Kobold Geomancer would be pretty great right here. I could just swipe that, it would kill this, pop Divine Shield. Nourish? Nope, not helpful. Well, I'm gonna lose, and the reason I lose is because of this axe. Like, if my Murlocs had been allowed to survive, or if he had had to, like, Forked Lightning to kill them off, or if I could have just played the Raid Leader and had a 2/2 on the board that wouldn't instantly die, then it would have been so much better. But he has just enough power on the board to kill my Taunter. If he has any kind of extra added efficiency, then the problem, because that means he's going to still have stuff on the board next turn to kill my Ironbark. Oh my lord, that was an incredibly efficient demolition of an Ancient of War. Does swipe work here? I mean, not really. No, it just doesn't. I would need like my other swipe as well. So let's do Ironbark. Let's play this game. See how many ways he has of killing a giant with taunt. So a very educational game here. You can see what happens if you aren't able to stay ahead or equal during the early part of the game. Then in the end part of the game, when you play your Ironbarks, like if I could have another turn right now, and like, you know, buff it with Defender of Argus and Swipe or whatever, that'd be great. But because he gets to have a turn in between, I'm just really screwed. Also, this thing was annoying. This guy regenerating after my removal really sucked.
We must cleanse the
Mr. Popo says Ancient of War, Ancient of Snore, am I right? Yes, you are definitely right. Thank you for that. Okay, so he's just getting damage through without a hitch. Kobold Geomancer, for the love of God, please. Oh man, Kobold Geomancer with Swipe would let me kill off everything. As it is, Swipe is like 1 damage shy of killing off everything. Fuck, god damn it, I needed Kobold Geomancer here. That's why I drafted you, you little kobold. Well, anyway, he probably can just kill me with Bloodlust. Man, if I had Kobold Geomancer, though, I could win this game. I would just play Kobold, hit the Fire Elemental, everything dies, and then I still have like 3 mana left over to drop a Worgen after that. Yeah, I probably would have won. Well, can't have everything. I did get both swipes this game, it just wasn't good enough. He played around them, or not necessarily on purpose, but he ended up, unintentionally perhaps, playing around my swipes. Oh, Arcane Golem. Ah, that's no good. So he just beefs his way through it. Hits me for a ton. Does he actually have the kill? He does. Well, that deserves a well played. But I would have won if I'd gotten the Kobold Geomancer. Or if he hadn't had a legendary. That legendary was really good for him. So props to him for drafting the right legendary in the pack. That really made all the difference in that game. And then just playing correctly. Damn. Stormforged Axe, though, that was still the MVP of that game. Killed off both my Murlocs, and it would have killed my Raid Leader. So, yeah, that sucked. Well, we get up to 8 wins, which is totally fine. I'm happy that my 200th arena was a good one. I hope that my average is still 6.5. It would be sad if right on 200 it dipped to 6.4. Which it might have, but hopefully this will bring it back up. We'll see. Alright, we have Priest opponent. Gotta say, I'm usually not too scared to fight Priests. Not that they don't beat me sometimes, just that's not what I'm the most afraid of. We'll keep the 3-drop. Ideally, of course, I'd get a 2-drop, but even if not, I mean, I want to make sure I have something to play on turn 3. Got the Geomancer. Oh, you fucker. You little twit. Coming a game late. That's how they always come. Hey, look at that. That's actually a pretty good opening hand. If any of this stuff lives, I should be totally fine. And he's got a coin play, because of course he does. Didn't Priest get the... Oh, Jesus. Well, I can't even play stuff now. Okay, I'm gonna hit this. Now, the reason I'm hitting that is there's a chance that next turn I'm just gonna want to hit it again to kill it. Like, I just don't want to take the chance of bad stuff happening. He's going to heal it up. Okay, fine. You know, that's dumb. He's a priest. Why did I do that? Well, we can say I did it so that I could bait him into healing his own mana wraith. I'd like to play the Razorven Hunter, but that doesn't really work here unless I innervate. The only thing I can innervate to that actually uses up the mana effectively is the Defender of Argus, which is hilariously wrong. I'm going to go ahead and keep that Kobold Geomancer around. I think it's just so important to have it with Swipe. Even though the buff is nice, I've got another buffer. This should be okay. It's going to play an Ooze. It's going to trade the mana. Interesting doing that after playing the Ooze. I would have played first, but whatever. This looks good. So the Ooze can kill the Piglet, and then I can Shapeshift to finish off the Ooze. And I have enough health to do that, and I have another thing to play, which is the Raid Leader, which is all totally fine and good. I just hope he doesn't have a good play here. Well, Lightspawn is the very definition of a good play. He's actually going to conservatively just trade off, which makes sense, I guess. I could Innervate to Starfire that, but that seems dumb. I could Raid Leader to knock it down, but that seems dumb. Defender of Argus is dumb. Okay, I guess we're just drawing a card, because everything else is dumb. Wow. I would have loved to have a Stranglethorn Tiger in my hand at the start of that turn. Loved, loved, loved. Loved is all you need. Emperor Cobra. More like Emperor Nobra, am I right? Anyway. Ah, Spellbreaker. Well, do I silence the Cobra or the Lightspawn? I think actually probably the Lightspawn. That's just such a good target for being spellbroked. If I had Dark Iron Dwarf, I would totally Innervate to play it, but I don't, so why are we even talking about that? Innervate, I can do Dire Fender of Argus. I could put Taunt on just the Piglet so that the Cobra has to eat it. Protect my Spellbreaker. That seems just really weird. Man, this Cobra's so good. I would love to Innervate the Defender of Argus and just call it a day. Maybe I'll just do that anyway. Yeah, whatever. So the Cobra gets to kill the Spellbreaker. Whatever, so be it. So sue me. This 3-drop trades for my 4-drop. My 4-drop took out his Lightspawn. I've got a board. I'm not trying to get ahead. I'm just trying to stay equal. And I have a lot of this cheap stuff. So my Ironbarks, my Ogre, and my Ancient of War are in here somewhere. They'll all be coming. There he is. I'm not sure I would have silenced the Lightspawn, maybe Starfire instead. That's a reasonable play. I like silencing it because it also put a creature on the board. Starfire would have just been my whole turn, and then nothing else would have happened. I mean, I could have innervated and played something else, but not the Defender. Well, the proof is in the pudding, so because I chose to silence it, it got panded. The good news is that I can now Starfire, because I have nothing better to do, so that's nice. Questing Adventure, that'd be nice someday, but we need to definitely kill that off. And I'll lose my Taunter to keep my extra health guy, just in case of Holy Nova later on. Be nice to have someone who survives it. That's not too big of a deal. That also is not too big of a deal. Okay. I'm gonna heal up. So Bite does not kill this, unfortunately, without the help of the Defender. Is that worth doing? I could just Shapeshift and kill that, but then this thing is potentially a liability. Let's just kill that while we have the chance. Even though that means not playing the Geomancers, I don't want it just to die to the stupid Dragonling. I think it was worth taking that off the field and then seeing what he wants to do. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty happy to play. Actually, I really need to get an... If I had an Ironbark or an Ancient of War in my hand, that would have been pretty great. And now, once again, I'm praying for swipes. I have not used a swipe this game, have I? Ancient of War. Well, I have to do it. Yeah, I just have to. And rather than playing a Geomancer, I think I will opt to kill off that Dragonling. This is a bit risky, though. He's got 6 power here. Just needs a little bit more, and he'll be able to bust through that, unfortunately. Just gonna cycle for a card. That's fine. Have I seen a swipe this game? I don't think I have. She has Shadow Word Death. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Ah. Well, I really need swipe or else it's over, kind of. Like how every game works in this arena. And there's 2 of them in the deck. Halfway through, that happened. That doesn't actually help me, unfortunately. This I cannot grow fast enough. Man.
I must safeguard the land.
It doesn't actually matter what I do. Let's do this, this, and heal up. The questing adventure, the problem with the questing adventure that turn was that the most that I could do is play 2 other cards, making him a 4/4. None of my stuff had taunt, so this thing would have just killed it, unfortunately. If I had Mark of Nature, I'd put Mark of Nature on a questing adventure. Oh man, well this game's just over. So after saying how I'm not that afraid of priests, I proceed to get beaten by a priest. You know why? Because I didn't get swipe. If I could have just gotten swipe, it all would have been fine. But swipe is the one card in my deck that just really never wants to show up. Ah, yeah, this is over. I don't have anything to do, so let's just go ahead and end the game. And if you are on YouTube, thanks for watching. If you are here with me live, let's go ahead and take a look at our prizes. We are going to have... Yeah, man, that's the thing about Druid in the arena, by the way, is it's so dependent on swipe. Like you can see, I actually had 2 swipes. I still just like was constantly praying for swipe. Ah, boo! Lame prize. All right, 155 gold. It's fine. Let's go ahead and take a look at our pack. Normal. The collection shows something new. I think though that might have been the golden card. Yes, the golden cone of cold. I do have 2 cones of cold, so let's get 50 dust. And take a sneak peek at our next arena. So this one's going to be going up on YouTube, unless I take like a week off, which I don't think I'll be doing. And it's going to be either Paladin, Warlock, or Druid. Well, probably just Paladin, because I played Warlock and Druid today, so maybe a Paladin for the channel would be nice, or perhaps I'll take a look at the video counts and decide. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming to my stream. I really appreciate your attention and your audience, and we'll see you next Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and all throughout the week on my YouTube channel. So for those of you who don't actually watch me on YouTube, take a look in the channel description. The link is there. There's a bajillion, skillion, scurbjillion arena runs. You'll enjoy them. They'll be fun. They'll be great. And we'll see you around. Thanks so much, folks.